Hey everybody, we all have hockey players that we don't like or as far as hate, and this is my list of the top 15 of those guys. Players that never played for Montreal but I don't like. Some of them I really don't like and some of them I really hate. And this is my top 15 list of that. So let's get right to it without any delay. First player on this list is a goalie that played for the New York Islanders. I don't know if he played anywhere else. Very quick with his stick to slash out at people. Really good goalie, though. Was the goalie for the New York Islanders when they won their 4 cups in a row, along with Chico Resch, and that's Billy Smith. Billy Smith was the kind of guy that if you got in his crease or you blocked his view too much, definitely if you got in his crease, he was going to whack you with his stick. Whack your ankles if you could get them, and yeah, pretty dangerous guy for that. So you didn't want to really mess with Billy Smith. You didn't want to have too much contact with him or get in his crease because you're going to pay the price. Billy Smith. Next up, I apologize to a player on the team today because this is his father. Max Domi, if you're watching my video, which I doubt you are, I'm sorry. I don't really mean anything against him. But Ty Domi played for the Maple Leafs. That's probably the biggest reason why I could say I don't like him. He was a tough guy, kind of a goony player. You could say Chris Nyland was like that, but Chris Nyland could actually play the game and score, where Ty Domi not as talented as Chris Nyland that way. Not that Domi never scored or anything, but he wasn't really part of the offense. He was there mostly to agitate and to fight, basically. And so Ty Domi, a lot of the reason is because he played for the Maple Leafs. Next up, a guy you did not want to get hit from. Played for the New Jersey Devils. Started off, I think, in Washington. Played for the Devils most of his career. That's Scott Stevens. Scott Stevens could hit a guy right out of his career. Like, literally, he could hit a guy, and that's it. I think he did it to Lindros. Lindros had his head down, and he gave him a concussion from a hit. At a time when Lindros was fighting, having too many concussions. And, yeah, I don't know if Stevens knocked him out of the game. I don't remember exactly, but he did for... I'm sure he did it once in his career. I just can't remember the hockey player. But Stevens, you did not want to get a hit from Scott Stevens, and he was a really good defenseman, could put points on the board. Scott Stevens, kind of guy, you got to respect his talent, but I didn't like him. Next up, played for the Edmonton Oilers. You could say he was wherever Gretzky went, so did Dave Semenko. Dave Semenko, big bruising guy. I want to say, I guess before McSorley took over the job, because kind of McSorley took over the job, but he played on Gretzky's wing a lot, and he played, let's put it this way, if you did anything to Gretzky, Semenko was coming after you. Just the way it was, and yeah, it opened up the ice a little bit for Gretzky, and Gretzky definitely took advantage of it. So Dave Semenko, not a guy I like. Next up, I mentioned him when I was talking about Scott Stevens. Now, I know he was a good player. And I don't think I have anything against him personally. The reason I don't like Eric Lindros was, first of all, when he was drafted by the Nordiques, even though he had let them know, don't draft me, I'm not coming to play there, he didn't, I don't think he stood up. He just, I think it's disrespectful. He's just a kid coming into the league. You do whatever you have to get started, and you know, you go from there. And I just didn't like the way he handled being drafted. I know it's his parents. His father was his manager, and I don't think they were very good at it. And yeah, I just never liked Eric Lindros because of that. Although I'll tell you, before he was drafted and he played for in one of the Canada Cups or something, I liked him. It was just because of the draft and everything after that. I didn't like Eric Lindros. Good hockey player, though. Next up, another member of that team, but a different era. And my dog's about to bark, so I might turn the camera off for a sec. Bobby Clarke, captain of the Philadelphia Flyers when they were the Broad Street Bullies. Broke, was it Kharlamov's ankle in the 1972 Summit Series? It really allowed Montreal, Canada to win that series. Honestly, if you look back at it, Russia might have won if Bobby Clarke didn't break. Is it Kharlamov? I forget who it was. I think it was Kharlamov. If he didn't break that ankle, he slashed him really hard, broke his ankle. No doubt about it. Bobby Clarke, a guy I guess never liked because I never liked Philadelphia when they were the Broad Street Bullies. And that dislike for them stayed through the Eric Lindros years. And it's only recently, now that they're kind of a different team and they don't have that Broad Street Bully attitude or whatever, that I can say I don't mind them, but it's not a team I like in general. And you're going to see there's a few players here because I think the next 2 or 3 are from there too. Next guy up on this list from Philadelphia, the Rat, Ken Linseman. Kenny Linseman was Brad Marchand before Brad Marchand was here. Maybe you could say Brad Marchand light because Brad Marchand was a better hockey player. But Kenny Linseman was called the Rat. That was his nickname. And he lived up to it. He just, a lot of dirty plays. He just get in there somehow. Something bad happened, Ken Linseman was in there. I didn't like him. Never liked him. And his nickname, the Rat. I mean, obviously, he had that for a reason. Next guy, same thing. Well, not same thing, but same team. Big guy, fighter. I hated him. Dave Schultz. Dave Schultz was their Goonie player, and I imagine he was their guy that Philadelphia that like Dave Semenko for Gretzky. You didn't mess around with the Flyers too much because Schultz is going to come out and knock your head off. And big guy, big guy, and yeah. So I never liked Schultz. Now the next guy, and I hope I've got it right because they're brothers. There's 2 brothers. And I don't think they were both dirty. One of them was super dirty. He took out so many knees. And I think it's Alfie. If it's not, it's Shell, but it's Alf Samuelson. Dirty, dirty player. He liked to take knees out, knee on knee. The big guy, he put his knee out. I'm telling you, he took out a lot of knees. I never liked him, Alf Samuelson. I don't like players that hurt other players on purpose. There's no reason for that, and I just don't see it had to be any part of the game. Next one up is a guy. Now we're starting to get into guys that I hate. Next guy, and his brother played in Montreal. Next guy up is Dale Hunter. Dale Hunter, really good hockey player, to the point where he's so dirty. And well, now I'll temper it with this. He played for the Nordiques, Montreal Nordiques. Montreal and Quebec had a really big rivalry that might play part of it. But he was a really good hockey player, but dirty as hell. So many fights. Bumping goalies, just doing stupid, get under your neck. What's the term? Like the Rat, Linseman, but so much dirtier and also very talented. And that's what kind of drives you mad with a guy like Brad Marchand. He's so talented. Why be such an asshole? I don't get it. So Dale Hunter, another a-hole with talent. Next one up is a goalie for my favorite team, the Philadelphia Flyers mostly, but also played in Quebec. And that is Ron Hextall. A guy that was very free with slashing you with his stick. Whether you're in the crease or not, just piss him off, he's going to slash you with his stick. There was an incident with Chris Chelios, I think, and him, where he was just smashing Chelios with his stick 2-3 times. I mean, just a ridiculous guy. Hot-tempered guy. If you can get his temper flared up, you can get under his skin and you're going to score. And he's going to lose the game because he was a very emotional goalie. But Ron Hextall, I hated Ron Hextall. Still do. I think he's Next guy up, Boston Bruin. Stan Jonathan. Now, for all you old guys, you'll know what I mean. He wasn't a great hockey player by any means. He was a goon, a fighter. He had so many fights with Nyland and Kordic, and just so many fights that you hated Stan Jonathan. Just another one of those, you know, get under your skin type of guys. Didn't have a ton of talent. I don't remember. I don't think we scored too many goals. But he had, like, every time we played Boston, you knew Nyland and him were going to fight. And I just didn't like Stan Jonathan. I hate him. Next up, two more Boston Bruins coming up. This guy, last time maybe not last time he was here, but he was here when for his 1500th game, and Montreal fans actually cheered him. And I don't know why, because what he did to Max Pacioretty is unforgivable. I don't care. He could have killed the guy. I mean, he literally could have killed the guy. He grabbed him from the back of his shirt or his neck or his helmet and smashed him into a stanchion. That's what I remember. Anyway, it wasn't grabbing like that. He smashed him into a stanchion, which is one of the poles where the glass is. Max, I mean, that was almost his career. Just starting his career, that happened. Thank God he recovered, and he recovered fully. Anybody who can do that, I got zero respect for. I don't care how good of a person he is off the ice. And then last season, this season that's still not really over, that cross-check on Gallagher, it was to the neck. I mean, the guy's 10 feet tall. Picking on a little guy like Gallagher to cross-check him like that? No, you can't have any respect for a guy like that. He's a POS, which means piece of shit. That's what he is. I don't like him, never will. Same thing for this next guy. You know who it is. Also a Boston Bruin. Super talented guy. Why he would do what he does, I have zero idea. Because a lot of these pesky guys, it's because they're not super talented like this guy is. Brad Marchand, 100 points a season can get. This guy's got talent, and he's a total asshole. You know, I'm glad he plays for Boston because it makes it that much easier to hate a guy like that. But I hate Brad Marchand. Now, there's only one guy I hate more than Brad Marchand. And he didn't play for Boston. He didn't play for Toronto. I don't think so anyway. And that is Sean Avery. Sean Avery. That guy is asshole supreme. Standing in front of Marty Brodeur, waving his hands. Licking. Did he lick? He just asshole. Horrible play. Like, not talented enough to have such a big head. Sean Avery, the biggest a-hole in the league. Maybe the biggest a-hole that ever played the game. Brad Marchand is coming a very close second, and I've got him 1-2 there. And, yeah, there you go. So there you go. That's my players that I don't like to I actually hate. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you think of my... remember, these are the guys I hate, so you can't tell me I'm wrong. It's fine. It's very subjective. I'm allowed to. You might like them. That's fine. Let me know who you would take off the list and who you would put on the list for yourselves. And do that in the comment section below. I really want to hear who you guys disliked and see how many we have in common. And while you're on the way down there to do all that, if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe and ring the notifications bell. And that's going to get you your daily fix of Bleu Blanc Rouge and videos like this. All kinds of videos about the Habs. And yeah, so do that if you haven't done it already. And I want to thank everybody for watching. Please stay safe. Stay safe. Did I say that right? Stay safe. Wash your hands often. Try to wear a mask if you can when you go out. And just stay at home as much as you can. And we'll all get through this. So thanks everybody for watching. Peace out. See you next video. Might be a poem for the next video. I'm almost done one.